this is the whole arc of the home buying process. You're looking at homes, you put an offer, the seller likes you, chooses you, you guys get mutual acceptance. Then you put your earnest money in. Earnest money is your good faith money. I'm going to explain that more later. Then you do the inspection, you do the appraisal, and then you do the underwriting, you review the title, you sign the documents, and then eventually you close. Okay, so that's kind of the arc of the whole thing. It usually takes about 30 days. Contingencies are very important in this whole process. So contingencies, if you want to know what that is you guys first have to understand what earnest money is. Earnest money is good faith money. That means, it's typically 1 to 5%. So let's just say we're going to do 2% on $1 million home. So you're going to have to actually get $20,000 in of your own cash. And immediately after you get the offer accepted, you're going to put that $20,000 into a third-party account. They're going to hold it until something happens. So what I mean by that is if you guys, let's just say you guys buy a home, the seller, chooses your offer, the seller needs to move, right? And one day you guys are like, I don't really want to buy this home anymore. I like this other home. I'm going to leave. Well, that kind of leaves the seller screwed, right? So what this money is, it actually is a protection for the sellers. But you can actually retrieve your $20,000 and still back away by using these things called the contingency. The contingencies are your get out of jail free card. Okay, there's several contingencies. I'm going to explain each and every one of them. There's an inspection contingency. The inspection is basically like you're doing the inspection and you don't like what you see. So you can say, hey, here's my get out of jail free card. I'm leaving. I don't like the inspection. The financing is, oh, hey, we just found something on our credit report. I can't qualify for this home anymore. Here's my get out of jail free card. And you can walk away. The appraisal one is basically the banks are the ones who are lending you guys most of the money, right? So they're going to have their own appraiser, which is a guy who does a valuation for your home. And he's going to look at the home, look at the nooks and crannies, and make sure that the value is actually there to make sure this is a good investment for the banks. Now, if the banks, let's just say we were at mutually contracted price at $900,000, and the banks are like, or the appraiser's like, hey, this property is not worth $900,000. This property is easily worth $850,000. Then you have a choice. That $50,000 delta, if the seller is not willing to meet that delta of reducing it down to $850,000, then you could say, hey, here's my get out of jail free card. I'm out. There's that contingency. And then there's a house sale contingency, which basically I put that on there because sometimes in a very good buyer's market, you can tell the seller, hey, I have to sell my home first before I buy this home. So I'm going to put this contingency. If I can't sell my home, then I can use this get out of jail free card and get out. Nowadays, guys, that's never going to happen. Just being honest with you. Okay, sellers are not going to accept those contingencies. Unless the house has been on the market for a very long time, you're probably not going to have that. Then there's also the title contingency. So the title contingency is a period in which you could review the title because every home has a title to it. You could see all of the lien holders. You could see if there's any clouds on title. So let's just say the homeowner actually has a lawsuit, a tax lien on the property because they didn't pay their taxes. Well, you want to find that, right? And so you can have that time to basically be like, oh, I don't really like what's in the title. And I reviewed it, and I'm using this get out of jail free card to get out. And then the last one is the Form 17 review. What's a Form 17? It's basically a seller disclosure statement. That means if they have to give you a 6-page form, and they disclose anything that they know that's wrong with the property, and they have to disclose everything. If for some reason they didn't put something on there and they knew that there was a problem and you could prove that, you could actually sue them in court. So they have to give you that form, and you have typically about 3 days to review that. In the inspection contingency, like I said, a lot of people nowadays, unfortunately, to buy a home, they're waiving the inspection. So what I suggest is go do a pre-inspection. The biggest thing about this contingency is you have to really look at the major items. I'm not talking about the little issues with the carpet or the paint or little nicks and little things like that. That's really not an issue. You have to look at the major items. The major items are moisture. I don't like moisture in the house because that could lead to mold and rot, right? Pest infestations. Rodents can be a pretty costly thing. Utilities. Make sure that your plumbing, your electrical, and heating are solid, because if you have a plumbing issue or electrical issue, that can be like a $15,000 to $20,000 fix, redoing all the plumbing. Foundation issues, if there's like, does it have poured concrete? Does it have post and pillar? Is it on cinder block? I know that's really confusing for some of you guys, but basically foundation is very important, because let's just say it's poured concrete and then there's a big crack in the concrete. That could be like a $10,000 to $20,000 fix for you guys. Sewer line, are there any cracks in the sewer? That could be another several $1,000s fix. What's the age of the roof? Roofs can cost anywhere between $8,000 to $20,000 depending on the roof. So those are the big ticket items that you guys have to look out for in an inspection. And a good agent should help you guys review these things and make sure that you guys are not getting yourselves into what we call a money pit. The next thing is a financing contingency. So the financing contingency has two parts. One part is, like I said, you can walk away using like your financing, saying like, oh, I'm not able to qualify anymore because I lost my job. Then you could save your earnest money. Or, like I said, the appraisal less than sales price. I kind of explained that to you guys. This is a major contingency for you guys. A lot of the time, unfortunately, they're actually waiving this contingency as well. They're saying that if something happens with my financing, I'm still going to buy this home. I still have to buy this home. Or I lose my earnest money. Or if the appraisal comes in under, let's just say again, $900,000, but it appraised for $850,000, you're saying that I'm going to pay the delta of $50,000. I'm going to put additional down payment no matter what happens. There is actually a third method in which you can also tell the seller, hey, seller, I'm going to pay up to $20,000 of a difference if that difference comes up that much, if that makes sense. So in that scenario of $900,000 and $850,000, they would cover $20,000. So they'll basically buy it for $870,000, covering the 20 themselves. Okay, next.